Okay, so let's start with the session. Welcome everyone, welcome on board. So this session is going to be about uh, the overview of the market section. So I'm just gonna share my screen here. So I hope my screen is visible to everyone and my voice is audible to everyone. And before going for the session, we are gonna see what topics are going to be covered in this session. So first we are gonna go through the overview of market section. Then we are going to go through the news aggregator, which we have in engine markets. And then we are going to explore SIP tool. And we also have a new update in SIP tool. So we are going to discuss about that. And in the fourth section, we are going to have questions and answers, Q&A sections for everyone. So after finishing this, all the topics, everyone can everyone can question, and we will hopefully answer all of them regarding their queries. So let's start with the session. So within this, as you can see, I have shared my screen, and my screen, I hope my screen is visible in this manner. And here you can see the overview section of the engine markets. So within engine markets, we have given, so within engine markets, we have given a lot of functionalities here. So let's start with the market chart in the overview section, where we are going to be exploring a lot of things. So this particular market chart helps you in comparing multiple market levels. So what you have to do in comparing is all you have to click on this, market levels, and they will, generally get compared. So if I click on BSE 500, as you can see, it has been compared with S&P BSE, Nifty 50. And if I click on BSE Sensex, similarly, it gets compared here in the market chart. Similarly, I can do this comparisons by every single equity sectors given here. So here we have given two toggleable buttons where you can onboard from BSE or an NSE indices altogether. Let's say I go for a BSE indices, and if I want to compare this BSE indices with all this market levels, all I have to do is click on this BSE finance, and I have to click on the BSE telecom, and you can see as it is updated into this market chart. And similarly, you can also toggle in for NSE indices. So all I can do is I can click on Nifty Pharma, and Nifty Pharma is updated here. And then we have also given the best 10 NSE sectors and the BSE sectors as well. If you click on BSE indices, you will see best 10 BSE sectors and the worst 10 sectors in that manner. And here we have given 1 month, 3 month, 6 month, and 12-month performances with the best and the worst 10 NSE sectors given here. What you can do here is you can screenshot this up. We have given this screenshot to use it into your customized analysis. And you can even screenshot this entire tab by clicking on this button. And yes, you can also compare world equity markets here. So you might have a use case where you want to compare Indian market levels with the world market levels. All you have to do is you have to click on this particular indices and they will get compared into this market chart. So if I compare Dow and Jones and NASDAQ, so it gets compared very easily here. So as you can see, the chart is updated here, and this similar chart, what you can do is you can even click on, let's say you want to remove Nifty 50 from this chart. By not clicking on this, all you have to do is you have to click on this and Nifty 50 will be removed. It is temporarily removed, and you can compare, let's say I want to compare NASDAQ with Dow and Jones. So all I can do is I can just click on this buttons here, and now only you can see NASDAQ and Dow and Jones are updated in this manner. And here we have given a rebase button. Before going to the rebase button, you can change the start date. So whatever start date you want to input, let's say you want to input from 2005, all you have to do is you have to click on this and the start date will be updated here. And similarly, you can also rebase it. So let's say you want to rebase it from the period, like if you click on this, so it will show you accordingly that if you would have invested 100 rupees or $100 in any of the indices, what would have been your accumulated value. So as you can see, we have given that in percentages as well, and you can see easily that Nifty, S&P BSE 500 is giving you a very good amount of returns. So accordingly, you can compare multiple indices here. Lots of things are comparable. You can, even download this entire data into a CSV. So whatever selections I have made within BSE and NSE indices, and also the world equity markets, they can be downloaded in one particular Excel tab. So here you can see Indian engine markets indices is downloaded. And this is used for your customized analysis. If you want to share it with your clients, you can use this particular data for the customized analysis. The next thing is that we have given a lot of screenshot buttons here. So as you can see, this all blue buttons are all screenshot buttons. So if you want to screenshot this entire market levels, you can easily do it. Similarly, you can see here, I've already narrated that. And here we have also given a YTD and MTD toggleable button. Within this comparisons of UK, USA, Hong Kong, India, and Japan as well. What you can do here is you can just click on MTD and you can see the data being updated according to the YTD and MTD. So this is it for the comparisons of the entire overview. And we also have one more important thing, which is a macroeconomic data. Now, macroeconomic data is very important for one particular country. And what you can do is you can toggle in the countries. So we have given this here. You can click on any country to know their macro data. So let's say I'm clicking United States. So accordingly, you can see that all the data given here within GDP growth rate, GDP annual growth rate, unemployment rate, everything is updated here. And the updating frequency is narrated here in this box. So as you can see, it is updated quarterly. The government bond 10 years is updated daily. And all you can do is you can also, click on India again, and you can see the macro data of India. And one more thing, why this is very important is, in engine, when we calculate Sharpe ratio, for an example, we take into account government bond 10-year percentage. So here the risk-free rate is 6.79%. So as you can see, we are using this for calculating the Sharpe ratio. So this is how every calculations in engine market is interconnected inside the platform itself. And what you can do is you can download this entire macroeconomic data in one tab. So if you want to check the data of India, all you have to do is download the data. And then if I open this macro data, I can see the entire macro data of India into the Excel. And similarly, you can compare this data with other countries as well. There is a button where you can compare this. So before going there, I'm going to show you this comparisons. So within compare, all you have to do is this simple button, which is a comparison button. If I want to compare inflation rate of India with other countries, all I have to do is click on this. A pop-up box will appear and you will see all the countries here narrated. And then you can, compare it with other countries altogether. So as you can see, it's a very high inflation in this particular country. And in United States, it's 7.9. And you can see accordingly for India as well. So India is here with 6.07%. And then you can use this screenshot button if you're using this particular comparison for any other, customized research purposes. So this is it for the entire overview section. And whatever selections I've made in this overview, if you want to purge it into a PDF format, all you have to do is you have to generate this by clicking on this button. So you can click on market wraps, and the another tab will open up with a report, the entire rebase, whatever functionalities I've used in the analytics, I can present it accordingly. And I can see that, you can see these are all the indices I've selected. These are the macroeconomic data of India and all the details given here. And even you can see that equity sector selected by me in the analytics was an NSE. That's why it is showing NSE in this particular report. So it's a co-branded report where you can see the entire, research what I have done into this market. So this is it for the overview section. And within overview section, there are many things which you can do. One of the use case I'm going to narrate is the, if I download this macroeconomic data, I can use it in a PPT for any portfolio or for a client's portfolio as well. So a very, very simple use case I'm going to show you is that all I can load in this particular, macro data. And if I want to show this particular data to my client, all I can do is I can just copy this, make a good format of this table, and then I can use it in my PPT altogether. So it's very, very simple. All you can do this, so that is it. I can just validate this data. And once I copy this, I can use this in my PPT. So as you can see, there's a standard proposal loaded here. And this is very important because what engine markets is giving is a flexibility to generate PPT reports. And all I'm doing here is all I have to do is copy this, table here. And once I copy this table here, uh, as you can see, I can use this table in a PPT as a macroeconomic data. So how good is that? That you can use the data in engine by using many parameters, and you can, definitely show it to your client that you have made a very personalized approach for him for this particular thing. So this is a standard proposal generated by me in the PPT, and we have already narrated that into the portfolio analytics, that how you can, generate a PPT report. And this is we are done with the overview section, and let's go to the next is a news section. So a news section is an aggregator. It shows you all the relevant news within financial world in one place. So this is going to be very, very helpful for you if you want to search some particular news. Within this particular news, what you can do is you can just see this toggleable button, and this all toggleable buttons will give you those particular news. So let's say I'm clicking on stocks, then you can see all those stocks news accordingly. And you can also use this keyword button to search those particular news. So let's say I'm typing in RBI. So all the RBI related news are updated here. And as if you want it as of today, you can just click on this refresh button here, given here. And if I want to load any such news, all I have to do is click on those news, and a new tab will open up with that aggregation. And you can see the Economic Times news is updated here itself. And surprisingly, this is very, very important one, that this particular news aggregator is going to save you a lot of time as to how to search those news and where are the news available. And we have a lot of aggregators from Google News, Live Mint, Economic Times, and even CNN as well. So you can see those news accordingly. They are updated in the timely fashion, and it will be very useful if you want to look into the news section altogether. Now we are going to jump through the tool section. And in the tool section, before going for the SIP tool, here we have an update of a new function which is called as select index to run the SIP. So what you can do is, before selecting this, we can run SIP for any funds or any stocks. So what we can do is, let's say we are running an SIP for Axis small cap fund, an equity fund. And after that, you can select an installment here accordingly. So you can just click on 10,000. You can have a start date accordingly here. Let's say we have a start date of 2018. We start with the beginning of the period of the month, and we end our SIP as of today, and we run this. Once we run this, you can see accordingly a lot of data has been appeared here. So one of the most important data here is this breakdown, SIP breakdown. So from the start of the month of November, what was the breakdown? What was our invested value and what is our accumulated value in every particular breakdown of the month? So we have given the entire data given here, and that is represented in a graphical format here, where you can see what is our invested value in green, what is our NAV value of this particular mutual fund, and the SIP value of the same. So how the SIP historical SIP growth has been backtested in this SIP analytics, you can see very easily. And similarly, you can click on those graphs. So let's say I just want to compare between the invested value and the SIP value. All I can do is I can click this, Now I am comparing between the SIP value and the invested value. This gives you a very clear picture altogether. I can also remove the invested value and just I can gauge in the SIP value altogether. So you can also check in for NAVs as well. Very, very important. It gives you a very dynamic approach in analytics apart from just analyzing SIP breakdown as well. Now we have also given a final SIP value for every working day of this particular month. What it does is when you start with a start date, it is giving you all the possibilities, all those historical backtest as to if you would have invested in 16th November, you could have the final value of 6,85,000 rupees, which is, comparatively very less if you would have invested in this particular months. So that's why this is very important, that which particular day are you booking your SIP. So this is very helpful for every single advisor who are actually, suggesting their client to go for an SIP for a particular fund. Similarly, we have also given an SIP for stocks. Now, this is one of the very wonderful use case. You can type in any particular stock such as Hindustan Unilever, and after typing in, the similar analytics will open up as we have seen for the fund section. So for Axis Small Cap, we have seen it before. The same thing in the installment, you can see the same thing we have given here from 2010 to 2022, and you can run this SIP. And then after running the SIP, you can see the XIRR, the installments, invested value, and the final value. This can be also downloadable in Excel. And the SIP breakdown of this particular stock, you can see the number of shares bought for all the all the installment which we are going through, and accordingly you can see the value which is accumulated. Now the main thing here is that either for a fund or for a stock, you can download this PDF report. So we have given a two style report. One is a summary, brief summary of SIP analysis. What you can do is you can click on this, and an SIP analysis summary PDF report, a research report, is generated here. As you can see, this is the Hindustan Unilever Limited stock SIP analysis. Similarly, you can also load in the detailed one, either for a fund or a stock, doesn't matter. So once you have loaded in, you can see accordingly for this particular stock, the SIP report is given. Now, it is not just one pager, there is a breakdown as well. Now, this is a very, very insightful data from the monthly SIP breakdown point of view. So you can see that, from the start of this particular backtest till the end, you can see the entire data and the breakdown of the same. Now, the main thing here is we have also given a new update. It has been updated just recently. We have now flexibility to also have SIP for any index. It's very, very useful. All you have to do is just click on this and type in any index. So let's say you're selecting Nifty 50, a large cap index. Now all this, the Nifty index is added here, and then you can see the similar SIP analysis of Axis Small Cap, which we have given before. Same for Nifty 50 here. And you can have your own flexibility of having your own start date, your own end date, and you can create a Nifty 50 SIP PDF report just like this, just like a stock or just like a fund altogether. And also the monthly breakdown of that particular indices. This can be done for not just Indian index, every single index from CCL bond to all together, BSE, NSE, and everything we have given here. So it is very, very useful, very insightful, as Engine is, trying to build up new functions altogether every single month. We are coming up with new updates altogether. And also for indices, the comparison I've shown into the market wrap and the market chart, the comparisons is also done into the fund section as well. There's another, we had a session before for the compare. I'm just gonna give you an overview as to if you want to compare indices with different parameters such as rolling years, as we have shown many parameters here. What you can do is you can just click on those indices such as Nifty 50. You can click another indices such as Nifty Small Cap, or maybe you can go for a BSE. And then we can even go for one of the world indices global indices, maybe Dow and Jones. Now we are comparing these four indices. One is from, global indice, and other is all the Indian indices. You can compare it very easily with returns column, access. We can see the relative column and the holdings columns. You can see the rolling analysis of the same. So there is a, lot of things you can do for comparisons. So this is a detailed comparison. What I have shown before was a market overview comparison. And this one, what comparisons tab helps you up it can help you to compare any funds, any index, any customized securities, and even portfolios at the same. So we had a session before regarding this, and hopefully we will have another session where you can see those correlations and the performance chart between the indices, and you can have different case scenario for point to point as well, and you can gauge in which indices is superior to which. And these are, nitty-gritties of comparisons, and this is why this engine markets is helping in comparing any securities within the compare section. So compare section is one of the heart and soul of this software when you want to research very intensively, and it's gonna give you a very, very important insights as to which particular indices will be useful or will be giving you a very insightful information. So that is it for the entire session for today. And we can start with our Q&A session. We also have Mr. Arunab Mukherjee with us. He's gonna answer all of your questions as well. So everyone can start shooting their questions or even write it in the chat so we can, see this.
Hi, this is Arunab. Yeah, there's a question saying, can we use the SIP tool for foreign index as well? I'm pretty sure that should be okay. Umair, could you just go and load maybe NASDAQ or something like that? It should show up at the bottom.
Yes.
So just load anything in Dow Jones, yeah. So yeah, you can use any of the indices that we have available. Obviously, this is a theoretical assumption that you're investing rupees directly into NASDAQ, and of course that will not take into account the effect of the exchange rate effect that USD versus INR will also have. So you should be aware before using this.
Is there any such questions?
Hi, Kapil Holkar from Bhopal. I'm audible?
Yes, sir, you're audible.
I just want to ask, can I ask something, question from different segment, or it's only related to the only today's presentation?
Definitely, sir, you can ask.
Just I want to know the more features about the comparison between the demo portfolio and the other portfolio, other investors' portfolio. Can you go throw some light on that?
Okay. So for comparisons, all you have to do is you have to click on this compare two portfolios. And once you compare this, already you need to have both of the portfolios onboarded by adding a new portfolio. And here you can add in your own, clients portfolio such as this one, and you can add in another, your model portfolio on this side. And this will give you an overview as to how superior your model portfolio is against the comparative portfolio which you have loaded for your client. So here you can see multiple parameters we have given here, and we are all together going to have a session where we will show how to compare different kinds of portfolios, either in debt and equity or a hybrid portfolios. And then here, as you can see, the comparisons between the two portfolios are given. So this is my model portfolio, and this is the portfolio of any client, and you can compare it very easily. Here you can see the return difference. There are many parameters given here, so you can explore this. And similarly, you can make a create PDF of this two comparative portfolios. So once you click on this, you can create the portfolio. And this is very useful if you compare the portfolio and convey to the client that the model portfolio you have suggested for your client, if it is superior, definitely the client will be ready to be your client. The prospective client would be happy to invest with you. So this is how it works.
Thanks a lot. Thank you. One more question I would like to ask. Simply, we have an existing client on with us, and we want to check the whether how can we improve the returns. So, you have any feature that we with different permutation combination with different asset allocation, we can check the existing portfolios. How can we enhance the returns?
Definitely, we have a portfolio improve function. That portfolio improve functions help you to optimize any portfolios, even in the client section or even in the portfolio section. So all you have to do is, if either you are in a client section, all you have to do is run the portfolio, and there we will have a button called an portfolio improve. And once you can see that portfolio, this button, and once you click on this, we have two sets of model, which has three sets of sub models, which accounts for six models, which gives you a permutation and combination accordingly, according to the risk, volatility, and also Sharpe ratio, ranking based. There you can see accordingly which asset allocation you should go for. So we have given this ranking model, which are the three models, which is rank returns, minimum volatility, and rank Sharpe. And we have a value model. And obviously you can see there are some differences between the asset allocation between these two models. Ranking model is more of a concentrated approach, where it ranks accordingly to those parameters, and a value model is more of a normalized approach, which gives you an asset allocation which is quite balanced. So you can save those accordingly, and then you can see accordingly that original portfolio was 14.42%, and ranking returns obviously shows you that it is 16.26. So if you would have changed your asset allocation a bit in such a fashion, you would definitely would have backtested better returns, historical returns, and even had a better Sharpe ratio. So this is how it is helpful to make a portfolio better. You can save this optimized version with another portfolio will be generated as a optimized version, and you can create it. So that will be saved in a tab called from improve. So from improve, these are all the optimized portfolios. You can do this either for the clients as well. You can run into this RTA or any manual data. You can come here and you can run analytics, and similarly there will be a portfolio improve tab. The same thing as applies for this entire function. It doesn't make any difference between the portfolios and clients when you make an improve feature.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
You're welcome, sir.
So yeah, there's one more question. Can I download Nifty TRI data? So we do have Nifty TRI available for benchmark comparisons, but TRI isn't actually one of the indices in the market section, so it's not directly available for download. However, I'll say that we will very soon be releasing price analytics page for indices as well. So in the same way that you can click on the name of a fund and it opens up in a new window, same thing for stocks. Similar thing will happen for any index anywhere also. And it will show you analytics for that index price. So starting from Nifty TRI all the way to Dow Jones. Any index will be able to load in a separate page and analyze rolling analysis, drawdown scenario, and all that stuff as well. The distribution and all of that. So this should be coming soon. If you really do urgently need that data, please just write to support. We can send it to you right now. There's another question saying, is dividend income details captured in the SIP? No, so they are not. They just treat it as just a price. So dividend income will not be showing in the SIP report. So we have a suggestion. So when we do improve portfolio, it's better to have a cap on asset class. Yes, I think that's a great idea, sir. So we have thought about this. We just wanted to get some feedback from users as well. So this is definitely one of the points that has been highlighted, where you'll be able to say that optimize these 10, 20 funds, but don't put more than X amount in equity and put this much about in debt, etc., etc. So so that would be a second level filter that we will most likely work on soon.
So is there any more questions, everyone?
Okay, if there's nothing else, then Umair, we can we can go ahead and close today's session.
Okay, so thank you everyone. So I hope the Q&A sessions are over, and I hope the session was very insightful to everyone. Soon enough, next week we are gonna have new topics. Obviously, we are gonna as we have a question here, we are gonna mail it up to you with this new topic, and that new topic will be very interesting. So thank you everyone, and greetings from Engine Research for the festival called Holi for tomorrow. So thank you everyone, and have a nice day.
Excellent. Thank you so much.